Okay, so Thor the Dark World was the first real time in the MCU where I started consistently going to the theater opening weekend. Even after this one, I would always go opening night. This movie, when I first saw it, I really did love it. I thought it was great. And over time, it's kind of like gotten down lower and lower on the pedestal for me. And now I can say officially that 100% by this point in the MCU, it is the lowest we have been. This is my least favorite of the MCU so far, and I won't be surprised if it stays my least favorite by the end of it, because this movie is pretty bland on the surface, and underneath it has some really cool stuff. There's some cool music cues. Loki steals the show like he always does. He's always great, and I do still like the character of Thor. His side character, Earth Friends, are not very great. They're just not written very well, but overall, it's just not that big of a film. The villain, obviously, is a really bad one in everybody's opinion. As a matter of fact, I feel like Malekith is 100% the worst MCU villain we have had still to this day. It's surprising how bland he is. He wants to destroy the whole 9 realms because he wants everything to go back to darkness like his time was before the universe. It's never something you can relate to, and that's really hard when you're doing cosmic villains, and that's why Marvel probably has such a big problem. And granted, we don't explore their personal lives, but when I see like something like Black Panther that just came out, that is just wow. And Loki is, if you want to find a good villain, you gotta go with Loki, because by the end of it, it did leave me with a fantastic cliffhanger that we ended up sitting on for 4 years. But by the time it was handled in Ragnarok, I was pretty pleased. At least they followed up on it. This wasn't like, and not to take shots at DC, but when the Batman v Superman tease at the very end with Superman's coffin, the dirt rising, symbolized he would come back, that didn't play out in Justice League whatsoever. I am happy that they did follow up on the cliffhanger here in Thor, and it was a really good one. I mean, Loki's sitting on the throne, that's awesome. But otherwise, there's really not too much to talk about. I'm sorry that this review is kind of short, but that's just how it is. I will go ahead and get into the end credits scenes because we had a good one and we had a horrible one. The first one was really good because it showcased the Collector, which is going to tie into Guardians of the Galaxy. It was the first introduction to that, and you had Benicio del Toro, who looks really great as the Collector. I hope we see more of him in the future. But otherwise, you have the second end credits scene where you have Jane and Thor meet up for a kiss, and then one of the creatures from Jotunheim is chasing birds like a cat, and it's just a little funny thing at the end. I understand that, but I have stressed very vocally lately, not on the channel, but through Twitter and everywhere, that I really do not like when the Marvel movies end with a joke. Excluding Homecoming, because that was a genius end credit scene, I don't want the last few seconds to be wasted and not have a joke. That's why I really love that's one of the many things I love about Black Panther, is because both end credit scenes were serious. They weren't jokes. I'm just really disappointed. I would prefer the very, very end of one of these films to have a lot more meaning. I mean, I know end credit scenes are just supposed to be for tie-ins and stuff, and I do love the shawarma scene for Avengers, don't get me wrong. Stuff like that is really cool, but after that, when we're in the age of setting up Thanos and we're getting into this big thing, I want to focus on the connection of that. So like for Thor Ragnarok, Jeff Goldblum was funny, but I didn't want to end on a joke. It's just, it kind of irritates me, and that's just me personally. But by the end of this, guys, basically, it's not bad, it's just nothing special. It's kind of like what I said with the first Thor. It wasn't 100% great, but it wasn't 100% terrible, you know? But it's still not as good as the first Thor. And when I first saw it, I actually liked it a lot more than Thor. But now, this one, I don't this time around. But I want to know what you guys think. Let me know. That's going to wrap it up here for this week of the Infinity War Challenge. Come back every Monday at 1 p.m. Next week, we're tackling Captain America Winter Soldier, which I'm actually very excited about because it has been a very long time since I watched it, and every time I did watch it, I loved it. So hopefully that stays true. I know Falcon's awesome, so I can't wait to revisit that. And guys, it's Thor. Thor really dragged me down this evening, so with that being said, guys, hope you have a great day. May the Force be with you, always.